But in English, you cannot separate that in pronunciation. God is God. And it could be gods, goddesses, godfather, godmother. It's easy. But you don't know what you're talking about. You only got that one thing. I can't know what you mean unless I see you write it down with a big G. Hebrew, Aramaic, and Arabic don't have uppercase and lowercase letters. They're all the same. So you have to know the language and listen, and then you'll hear it, because it's clear. The word in Arabic for a mosque is masjid. But when we want to talk about more than one, we don't say masjid and put it after it like that. In English, you just go after anything and you got more than one. It's true. One of my degrees happens to be in the English language. And that's all there is to it. Suffix, and you got it. Microphone, book. Right? But in Arabic, it doesn't work like that. Masjid becomes masajid. And you knew exactly what I meant. There's no question about what I was talking about. The word here for plural, Aliha. That's the plural of God. Ilah, Aliha. Gods. You can make it female in English. Goddess. You can do the same thing in Arabic. But when you get to the word Allah, it perfects it. And you can't touch it. You cannot put an S after Allah because it doesn't work. And you can't make it male or female. It becomes only one all by itself. And actually, the word ilah means the object of affection or worship. So when you say Allah, you're literally saying the only one worthy to be worshipped or have my affection, and never plural, and never male, and never female. Never compared to the creation. All of that's contained in the meaning. And it's the word that the Christians used before there was any English. Only had English 950 years. 1066 AD, Normans invaded the Saxons, and then we got English language. Prior to that, you had to get a translation to the Tonight Show. They didn't have it. There was no English. Seriously. I want us to think about that just for a minute. Christians today, there are Christians who are Arabs. They have a Bible in Arabic. How many of you knew that? You knew that? I have two. Two of them. Page 1, Old Testament, Genesis, has the word Allah 17 times on page 1. But you don't have to go that far to get to Arabic, thanks to the Gideon Society, because they place one of these in every single hotel and motel on the planet. Even in India, where almost everybody's a Hindu, they still got Bibles in all of the drawers. I don't know why. I want to show you this. I brought it with me. I took it out of the hotel here. They're so proud of the fact that they've translated this into 27 of the important languages of the world, according to them. The verse they translated for a sample here is just to show us John 3:16. The first language is Afrikaans language, which I have no clue. But the next one is Arabiya, or Arabic, and it's right there. Right? Oh, you see it? It's that squiggly stuff right underneath my finger right there. That's Arabiya. And what's interesting, the fourth word, for God so loved the world, that's what it says. The fourth word is Allah. It's right there. So this is strange when I've had so many people try to attack Islam and say things like, Oh, Allah is not the God of the Bible. Allah is not the God of Christianity. Allah is not the... We say, excuse me? Then you need to contact the Gideon Society and tell them. Just do a little bit of research. وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَا يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Anybody recognize that? That's pretty close anyway. Where is that? Same surah, chapter 3, Al Imran, verse 85. And whoever seeks a deen, I'm going to leave it in Arabic, other than Islam, leave it in Arabic again, Allah will never accept it from them, and in the hereafter they'll be with the losers. And I think you know what that means. Did you get that? Let's try my translation and see what happens. I'm going to give the word way and the word Islam, I'm going to give it over to submission. Let's see what happens. Whoever seeks a way of life other than what God has prescribed for them in submission to Him, obeying His commandments, he's not obliged to take that. And in the hereafter, they're toast. I just added that. Pretty close though, huh? So the people want to reject Islam because of what they claim Islam is all about. We hear that Islam is about terrorism, kidnapping, hijacking, cutting off people's heads and hands. It's kind of scary. When I first heard about Islam, I knew right away that's not for me. They showed us back in 1977, cameras are always in the most convenient place. I don't know if you've ever thought about that or not, but cameras are just in the right place to catch what they need. I don't want to go into the 9/11 thing, but it's amazing how they got so many shots of that first plane that went, you know? So coincidental. Lucky guys, I guess. Anyway. It's not our point tonight to go into that, but let us look real close about the subject in 1970s when they had the cameras right up on the Shiite Muslims when they would capture an airplane, and be sure you see them get off of the plane and come out and pray on the tarmac and then go back in the plane and kill somebody and throw their body out. It showed that. I remember it real well. I don't know, some of you may be too young to remember that, but that's scary, man. After I'm in Islam and I get to thinking about it, I go, wait a minute. They're in an airplane that they hijacked and they're traveling. They're Musafir. Right? And they're in the plane. They don't have to get out on the tarmac and pray. Do they? 5 times a day? No. What's up with that? Shiites don't do that anyway. They combine their prayers. What really gets me is when a media like CNN gives themselves an award for being the most trusted. They give themselves the award. Did you get that? Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. Listen to this one. Again, using deen as way. And on this day have I perfected for you your way of life, and conferred my favor upon you, and chosen for you to submit to me in total submission, surrender, obedience, and peace. Chapter 5, verse 3. Al-Ma'idah. So again, we see that God's saying what? Whatever you make up as a religion for yourself, He's not going to take it. But He's got a way of life for you. I'm going to stop right there in the interest of time, because I'm not trying to preach too big of a message to the Muslims tonight. That's coming up. Stick around. But for the benefit of our visitors and those who will see this in the future, for our Christian and Jewish brethren. And by the way, you might say, well, wait a minute, hold on, Sheikh. Why do you keep calling them brothers? They're not our brothers. They don't believe what we believe. Hold on. Hold on. We agreed that we all came from Adam and Eve, right? So if they're not from the same source, what planet are they from? And you know that. You may have some problems between you and somebody, but it doesn't give you the right to denounce their right as who they are. And Allah could guide them as He guided me. And by the way, just in case we've got some of those wannabe sheikhs that tell us how we should look at the Quran and just believe what they said about it. I went through that with the Bible. A lot of people telling me, you know, you don't have the right to think. You just do what the priest tells you. Just have faith. Don't ask.